Well, today we are going to be talking about why Griffith killed every last member of the Hawk. If you don't know about Griffith, he is the antagonist of a certain manga known as Berserk. Griffith as an antagonist, as a character, is far more compelling than any other character you can find in manga industry right now. The one that I think who are on par level with Griffith are Johan from Monster and Friends from 20th Century Boys. Well, Griffith did everything wrong. For me, yes. There is a certain book known as Lucifer Effect. According to that book, written by Dr. Philip, when something becomes thinkable, when something becomes imaginable, it becomes possible. Our devilish desire doesn't have a limit, because human beings can think whatever they want to think. As the start of mankind, people were having nothing. Till the start of 20th century, 21st century, we have everything in our life. We have clothes to wear, we have aeroplanes in which we can go from one place to another. So these are our desires that made us to do work so that we can become what we want to be. Our devilish desire activates in a certain condition, and that condition can be anything from a past trauma to a thing that is going to be happening to you. The Lucifer effect, by example, says that when power is given to a certain person without having taken care of consequences, at that time your devil gets activated. When someone has as much power as no one can think of and uses it without its thinking what can happen with it, what will happen to this whole world if I use this power, then that is the time when your devil gets activated. Your free will, your hidden desires acts. But for me, it was not the case with Griffith, because the Lucifer effect shows us how good people turns evil. But Griffith was always evil, because in manga it has not been shown the backstory of Berserk, so still I think this. But I was close to finding out why Griffith did that, and then I read a certain book by a certain someone whose name was Carl Jung. If you don't know about Carl Jung, he explained the process of individuation. It is a process through which a person understands his unconsciousness by bringing it to consciousness. Carl Jung once says that everyone has two parts, consciousness and unconsciousness. Carl Jung named unconsciousness as a shadow, which is evilness, or your real powerful emotion. He said that if you don't work on your shadow at the right time, then it will overtake you. It is important to understand these emotions before making it into consciousness. Otherwise, your shadow will overcome. And this is what happened with Griffith. As a reader of Berserk, I have seen from the starting of Golden Age arc that Griffith's unconsciousness emotions were very dangerous for himself. For suppressing those emotions, he actually hurt himself. But he didn't even try to understand his unconsciousness part, because he never wanted to be. He was having everything, because everything was going according to plan of Griffith. He was a leader of his own band, which is undefeated. He lives in his own utopia, but that utopia was broken down by Guts during his departure. At that time, Griffith loses for the first time, and his persona is utopia break. According to Carl Jung theory, at that time his unconsciousness side take over him. Meanwhile, if we thought about Guts, he has been through everything that Griffith has been through. He has seen life Every people he met are something different from one another. But he understands individuation. He understands it time by elaborating his feeling. Therefore, understanding his consciousness side, which is shadow by Carl Jung. This is the reason why for me Guts is above Griffith, because he understands himself. He has gone through individuation. He never tries to hurt himself to suppress his unconsciousness side. He tries to understand his unconsciousness side. Meanwhile, Griffith, he did nothing. He hurt himself. Griffith is like a hollow box, while Guts is like a box filled with water. Carl Jung once said that to be is to deceive. A man should never go to perfection, instead wholeness. Griffith always wanted to be a perfect human being. He wanted to become the ruler of Midland, so he did everything in his own hand to do that. He made Guts kill people so that he did not come in his way. But Griffith did the wrong. While Guts, he has also gone through every traumatic thing that we can't even think of. From killing his father figure to living a life with wolves. He has been through everything. But he is above Griffith, because even at the baddest time of bad, he tries to understand himself. He has also gone through individuation, but he never tried to hurt himself. He always tries to understand it. Guts always traveled alone because he knew that if he will travel with someone, then his unconsciousness side will tell him to kill him. That is what happens with Casca. When he was traveling with Casca, he had to make friend with Squirt, Skreek, and everyone else so that his unconsciousness side should not take over him. And this is what happened.